only thing I was responding to was this idea that I was talking about people's money behind the scenes. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness, you guys, my rebels, my babies. This is a lot. This is a lot. Okay, so shout out to Danny from the stop. He put in all the work, and I'm not here to refurbish your work, babe, but I'm just here to simply follow along on this audio, and maybe we can do it together, you guys. Marc Lamont Hill comes on Spaces, and he kind of breaks down like the reason why the beef started in the first place. But to me, it kind of seems like he walks it back, and then he tries to justify it, and then he tries to gaslight us like that's not really what happened. He'll explain it better because he does have me a little trigger. And don't get me wrong, Marc, I am a huge fan of yours. And then a little bit later on this audio, you guys, QueensFlip will join. And I don't know if he strengthens Marc's points or if he kind of makes him look a little bit like he might be lying.
It was clearly a joke. We joke about it all the time. We make jokes like that all the time. About me being a lieutenant, about me being a supervisor, about playing into their narratives.
But this is their attempt to make up and clear the air, so let's just see what they have to say.
But the truth is, like, what are we talking about? First of all, why would I be discussing somebody else's pay? Why would I care how much somebody else makes? And why would somebody making less be to my advantage?
I guess because the narrative, I know narratives be fake, but that you'll get the money if somebody makes less.
You think there's a finite pool of money and we fight over it?
I don't.
And that's the thing that bugs me about Marc Lamont. Like, he chooses to respond to the slow comments in the back. For what reason, I don't know. But only the people in the back are saying that there's this magical billion-dollar basket in which all of their fundings come from. Marc's main problem, some of you commenters, the belief that if somebody gets paid more, then that means someone is getting paid less. The belief that if someone is getting paid less, that means no one up there can make a little bit more. Marc feels like his time up there, and I'm just going to speak for him because he won't say it. Marc feels like his time up there is way more valuable than Flip's time, way more valuable than Ish's time, way more valuable than Ice. The only person that he cannot say his time is more valuable than is Parks. And that's because Parks is literally the program. He is the program.
Anyway, it's so ridiculous. Just to be clear, no, I've never had a conversation about anybody else's pay. I haven't even had a conversation with Joe about my pay. Never in my life have I had that conversation. On this job, I mean. I'm not saying in any job. I'm saying never in my life have I had a conversation with any of them about that, about my pay or anybody. And I would never talk about nobody else's pay. That's stupid. It was a joke. It was obviously a joke.
See what I mean? Sometimes it's a joke, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's COE, sometimes it's... No. Let me set the record straight because people like to run with narrative. So, all right. Okay, you got it.
This narrative that I'm sneaking behind the set, talking about people's pay. Why would they talk to me about somebody else's pay? He said Amani and Flip because those are people I make jokes about. I came to correct that one statement that Dub made, which was about, I don't want to normalize the idea that I did something that didn't happen. That's all. The thing that I'm disagreeing with is the claim by anybody that I've ever discussed anybody's pay or anybody's job or anybody or any other colleague or cast member.
Oh, but Dub, shout out to Dub here on YouTube. He kept the receipts.
Dub, you got smoke?
No.
That's crazy.
You know the difference between me. I didn't bring it up. He brought it up. It wasn't. I didn't say give me their money. What I said was I need more. The rest of the shit ain't my issue. You know, for the team. I'm a team player. Matter of the money.
That's the only part. That's the only part right there.
Team player. So
you got what?
That's the point that I made, that he was asking about his money.
Marc's true beef is you guys thinking that someone's pay has to change if his pay increases. And that's the total thing. Marc is going to fluff it up and make it seem like it's all about equality. He doesn't care if his pay decreases or increases, but let's call it for what it really is. He doesn't want this ideology floating out there that he believes that people should get paid less and he gets paid more. He hates that particular narrative. Watch him try to clean it up.
Even that was a joke, but what I said in that quote was, all I told you was, I need more money. The rest of the shit is up to you. That would mean that if the joke were true, if you don't believe it's a joke.
My point is that you said it.
No, listen to me, Dub. What I told him I said was, I need more money. That end of the sentence. That's the quote that I'm saying I said to Joe. That has no mention of anybody else. How would I need more money suggest to you that I said something to somebody else about somebody else? 4 words. I need more money. I said all I said was I need more money. Period.
I think that was a clear point to make. That I understand why he made it, but it was a bit strong, my man. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Yeah, it's strong because it was just stupid. Like it actually doesn't make sense.
QueensFlip requested to come up.
Yo, Mark, what up, Mark?
Yo, what's up, homie?
I'm chilling, good hearing you. Listen, I just want to shout out to y'all. I just want to say this, man. Like, sometimes it's just taking a joke or what was said out of context, and that's what I did. And we got to call it for spade to spade. That's it. Not, I'm gonna confess something to y'all. So I was already aggravated that the pod before last I did, because they do some type of the fuck they do. What do you call it, Mark, when they analyze it? They was grading system, and it was like, yo, Flip, you did well. And shit like that. I got called from Ian. I got called from Joe. Like, you did well. So then when I was in Baltimore, Ian told me to come into Patreon. I called Joe, like, why am I coming to Patreon for? And Joe said, just come into Patreon. I'm going to pay you fully. I end up coming into Patreon late, like an hour and a half late. So me and Joe behind, while I came in, was going back and forth. If you look at the camera when he was sitting over there, you would see that he was looking. I was standing there the whole time. So, I sat down just being aggravated and being that, and I wasn't in the mood to take any jokes, and that's it. My man said he never did that. I took a joke wrong, and I just decided to go over the deep end, and we had the back and forth, and that's it. I do believe that he didn't do that because it was confirmed. But when you're in the moment and you're heated, when everything lines up like that, sometimes you do that, man. That's what I did. Just to be transparent as far as that. I was listening. I heard, some defense. I heard some people talking what they was talking, but it happened. That's exactly what happened. It's just Flip didn't know how to take a joke because things leading up to that. That's just what it is, and that's something between Joe and myself. And that's what I got to say for saying that.
Okay, so there you have it. Marc Lamont Hill and QueensFlip has squashed the beef, or what it seems like. And it just may be temporarily just to have QueensFlip cool down, but we have to control the narrative. We can't have people thinking that Joe and his team does not have it together, especially when it comes to money. And I know that there are people laughing at Joe. His old coworkers might be laughing the hardest because they're just up there like, I told you guys soon, Marc, Flip, now you guys are fighting over who should be paid more. Marc wants you to know that that's not the case. All right, you guys, as more information rolls out, I'll be sure to put some of these codes together, and there's a lot of decoding, and I do need you guys' help. So let me know if we're on the right track in the comments. Subscribe to this channel. We are building a beautiful, beautiful crew over here, and the numbers are increasing day by day, you guys. I don't know what's going on, but I think that this is going to be the crew that gets it done. We're going to get to the bottom of Melissa Ford not being on the podcast. We're going to get to the bottom of Melissa and Marc Lamont's relationship, and if that had anything to do with her not being on the pod. We're going to get to the bottom of Joe and his neighbors. Is that lawsuit still pending? Is that a active lawsuit that has anything to do with Melissa Ford? Or was QueensFlip the true reason? And is that all becoming apparent with the latest confrontation he had with Marc Lamont Hill? There's a whole lot of to get into. Thanks for following along with me. Until next time. Mwah. Love you.